To our other big story now, and the tax cut deal, and whether President Obama will face a backlash over this compromise. We just heard from Karl Rove, the former senior advisor to President Bush, who weighed in on this moments ago on Happening Now.
Well, the political risk for the president is this. He has alienated Democrats on his left, but on the other hand, he's apparently heard the message of the election, which is independent voters said, we want you, the president, to stop governing from the left and instead govern from the center and compromise. And the president's on the ballot in 2 years and keenly aware that he's got to win back those independents.
Well, let's hear from a Democrat now. Don Goldberg is a former special assistant to President Clinton. He joins us now. Don, you've heard the criticisms of this president, especially from the left flank of the Democratic Party. What do you make of them?
Well, I mean, I think they're very predictable. We're at a time following the midterm election, as he's going through the first term, where the interests of the president and the Congress, the Democratic part of the Congress, diverge. Obama's got to worry about governing and getting elected. The House Democrats really have to figure out what their voice is and how they're going to get reelected. The Senate Democrats, how they're going to retain power. So there's three different entities here, all with a different agenda. And I think what Obama's done is shown that first and foremost, he's got to govern.
Well, you know, you just mentioned things like reelection and political power. Is anybody worrying about good governance here?
Well, it always seems to get left on the cutting room floor. I think that, you know, you got to cut a deal. You got to need these tax issues have to be resolved. Obama saw that. I think he wanted to get that quickly done. He saw an opening with the Republicans. And so I think that's really on his side to cut a deal and get this behind him.
So is this the political equivalent for the president of castor oil? Somebody tells you it's good for you to do this, so you hold your nose and swallow hard?
You know, I don't know. I think that that's probably what the left part of the party is saying. I think Obama, at least in rhetoric, seems to be much more pragmatic. And I think that this shows that he's willing to reach compromises. You know, you don't get everything you want. But at the end of the day, if you're president, you know, you got to actually have some results. You got to govern.
Bob Schramm, I read, the Democratic political consultant, is telling Democrats essentially to lay off this president, that he has given the left flank of the party more than any other leader in recent memory, and that they ought to just lay off him and stop engaging in what he calls a circular firing squad.
Yeah, you know, we saw this with Clinton in the following the '94 elections when the Republicans, you know, had a wide sweep and took over the House. It's very predictable. The left, you know, obviously feels a little bit disheartened and doesn't want to see their president move away from him. And I think that that's true on the right when they're in similar circumstances. But I think, you know, the question for Obama will be, do the Democrats on the left, will they abandon him in 2 years? Do they have any place to go? I think the problem that the Republicans with the right felt is that the Republicans on the right did have another place to go, the Tea Party. Will something like that materialize on the left? I think we'll have to see how it plays out.
Two more quick questions for you. First, is this Barack Obama becoming a Bill Clinton and moving to the center in the second part of his first term?
Clearly, this is a signal that he sees the reality that he's facing here, and he's going to need to do that. Will he do a welfare reform type of proposal like Clinton did? I think he's going to have to. I don't think he's got any choice in the matter, quite honestly.
Well, we're just getting some urgent reporting from Chad Pergram, our producer on Capitol Hill, who says Steny Hoyer, quote, Steny Hoyer is saying there is no consensus among Democrats in the House that this is a done deal. Do you think that the House will, well, and the Senate will ultimately pass this as negotiated by the White House?
I think the Senate certainly will. You know, whether it takes a couple tries in the House, we'll have to see. My guess is that they all understand that their future is wrapped up in the success of the president, and they need to go along and give him the support.
Don Goldberg, who knows well the workings of these things from his time in the Clinton administration. Don, thanks for your expertise.
Thank you, John.